ago, 2 years ago, when I used to train guys. I was probably around the game a lot more, and used to jump in a couple, 21s and some 3-on-3s and some 5s-on-5, just for a couple games.
Could
But
you
yeah, about
play it
3
all?
years.
Could you play it all now?
Yeah, yeah. I can play. I can play for probably about 10 to 12 minutes if I had to in a real NBA game. The way the pace is now, because when you're younger, Dan, I'm chasing every rebound, and I'm attempting to try to get all those rebounds. You don't get them all. When you get older, you use energy smarter. Like I wouldn't attempt to go for every offensive rebound. I wouldn't. I would sprint 3-point line to 3-point line and be good. There's ways that you can cut like corners, if you will, when you get older to not exhaust yourself. But yeah, if I had to, I feel like I could.
How were you surprised that Anthony Davis played last night? He was cleared to play last night.
I was shocked actually.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked that he made the trip. I was shocked that he was standing up on the sideline. I know I've had a groin injury before. Anybody that's had a groin injury, it is the worst or one of the worst injuries you can have. You're very, very limited to what you can do in being mobile. The one thing you can't do, you can't laterally do anything. You can't get in the lateral stance. So I was very shocked that he was on the floor and that he had got cleared.
I felt the same way because as soon as he stepped 60 seconds in, I go, he can't play. And I wonder if Charles Barkley giving him that nickname of street clothes played a role in him just saying, I want to get in the game. I want to have my uniform on. I don't want to be sitting here in street clothes. Am I reading too much into that?
First off, if that was the case and you cared about any of this, then I felt like he would have came out with a better lather. You would have known in warm-ups if he could have been able to go or not. That's one. Then two, I don't think the young fella is actually, I think he hears it,
Yeah.
but this is all about doing something for yourself. He has to take another level of improving his body. Let's just keep this real. LeBron came to LA to not just, leave out the league on a great note with a great establishment like the Lakers, but he wanted to play with a younger version of someone that he can actually like, similar to what D Wade did to him in Miami. He came to AD's in LA to continue the legacy, to continue the championship legacy, to continue the spirit. And right now he's not doing that. He has to go to another level with his body and his training. Whatever he's been doing the last 10 years is not working. He should not be out of shape during the regular season. I don't understand that one.
Did you talk trash to LeBron?
I talk trash to where I saw an advantage. You understand? And let me get something clear out here. Dan, I have never ever in my life disrespected a man or his family or his wife or his mom or none of that. I have never in my life. Now I talk about how I'm busting your ass out here. I'll talk some trash about how, I'm getting this turnaround off, how you can't stop this, I used to love to call guys moves out before they do it. Anywhere I saw advantage or anywhere I saw weakness, I would actually attack that. That's what Karl Malone did to us as young boys. That's what Charles Barkley did. The greatest to ever talk it and back it up. It comes with something too, though. A lot of people don't understand talking trash comes with something. But I would never in my life, I always kept it basketball. We as basketball players know to keep it basketball. We know that crossing the line crosses the line. And I've never crossed the line. But yeah, I've talked trash to LeBron, and LeBron has talked trash back.
Chris
Part of the game.
Chris Bosh was with us 2 days ago, and he said he stopped talking trash with you because it took him out of his game.
Talking trash is a mental game. Getting someone to, first off, you have to have the energy to be able to talk, and then you have to have your information. Talking trash is about breaking someone down mentally and getting them to do and multitask when most people can't multitask. Most people can't do 2 or 3 things at once. And to be able to master that is something different. I watched Gary Payton. I watched Charles Barkley control games. I watched them control the refs. I watched them control momentum. And when I saw that can be done. Then the referees and the game started getting better. But for the most part, man, the competition is about both a physical and mental state. And if you can't be in both of those, then you're exposed. But, I respect everybody and who I play every I was getting everybody's best and felt like everybody that was in the league was getting my best. So I've never played a guy where it was just an easy night. You know what I'm saying? You don't get easy nights in the league. That doesn't exist in professional sports.
We're talking to Kevin Garnett. He's got a book out. It's KGA to Z, an uncensored encyclopedia of life, basketball, and everything in between. And Showtime documentary, Anything is Possible, released next month. What's in the book that might surprise people? Because you say it's uncensored. Where did you get real?
Where did I get real?
Like, there's things that you say, and then there's things like somebody's going to go, oh, wow. Like, is there an oh, wow moment or chapter topic that you have in the book?
I don't know. I just think sometimes that I would look up and some of the was like a movie to me, Dan. Like I would be looking up and I'd be like, this is something straight out of, you would see this in like theater or something, right? The connection with all the Celtics in '08. How my mom raised, how she raised me and my two sisters. I wanted to say it would be wow. And the reason I think I wrote the book was because to show the normalcy and the human side of me and the things that, I was able to beat or be able to find solutions to. I wanted to create solutions for people who was lost or went through similar situations and was trying to relate and wanted to be able to find some common solutions to the problem. So, I get a lot of DMs. I get a lot of personal mail about people and how to survive and during rough times and sharing stories. Arvydas Sabonis, I think a lot of people were shocked that I actually knew who Arvydas Sabonis was and that he was a huge play into my development and just creatively and imagine and as an imagination, have an imagination of being that big and being creative and being mobile like he was. I don't think people were shocked. I think a lot of people were shocked that I actually knew his history.
Yeah.
Dawn Stanley being one of my idols growing up, even though she was a female, I loved her style. Her and Kenny Anderson was my all-time favorite guards. I took the rubber band idea from her. It kept me very disciplined. Times where, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like for whoever's reading it and for whatever reasons they're reading it, looking for whatever they're looking for. I found a lot of people found some solutions in the book, which is the biggest compliment to me, at least.
You come out of high school right to the pros. What kind of offers did you get to go to college? You don't have to give me names of schools, but what were you offered to go to college?
I won't embarrass anybody, or I won't put it out there, no shit like that. But I got offered a lot of cash. My mother, and my family to have better opportunities, to meet some of the most powerful people in the world, whatever that meant. And I think I told the story in the book where it was a situation where I was staying with my grandmother at the time because recruiting was getting to the point where it was just obese, and my mother thought it'd be perfect or a better idea for me to change addresses. And life was running so fast at this time, but I had a certain recruiter come see me and he offered me some cash in front of my grandma, and she went and got a shotgun and told me to always set the tone with people that you can never be bought. And if you can be bought once, you can be bought always. And that stuck with me forever.
Wait, what did the recruiter do when grandma gets a shotgun?
I had to tell him he had to get his bag and get the hell up out of here, or him and his bag weren't gonna make it out of here. And I thanked him for coming through. I told him I love this school, but this wasn't gonna work like this. And he wanted to talk. And I think the quicker she put the shotgun together, the quicker we ended the conversation. But yeah, that guy's still around. Whenever I see him, I like to wink and be like, "How you doing?" He's like, "Man, yeah." So that's just between him, myself, and God and my grandmother. Rest in peace to my Aunt Mill. Yeah, my grandma Mill.
Grandma's packing.
Man, in the South they are. I definitely know that. Ain't no games. Ain't no games.
Were you concerned though with living in Chicago? And, it was only 1 year, but just what Chicago was like back then.
What was the question? What'd you say?
What was it like? You go from South Carolina to Chicago. What was it like? Were you ever concerned about just when you're not on a basketball court? Everything that.
Oh, you're concerned. You're concerned every day. Chicago was like a download to how to survive life. Like I grew up in like a little rough neighborhood, and it's hood, it's streets, whatever. But Chicago, big city, LA, New York, Houston, Miami, the bigger cities, they come with a lot more structure. They come up with a lot more, lot less development in neighborhoods. It's not a lot, So you understand places like youth centers. You understand the Boys and Girls Club. That's kind of universal. So when I got to Chicago, I had to understand how the lay of the land works. Chicago's full of gangs. It's full of structure. Over here is this. Over there is this. The police there is very different. They speak and deal with you very different in the big cities. So I had to get a download of all that. Every day in Chicago, your head on swivel. Your head on swivel means you're looking left and right, and if not, you're in something before you know it. And Chicago taught me, and I felt like Chicago built me so that I was able to go to the league, both physical and mentally. I was playing against guys that's in the street that's probably better than some guys that's in the NBA and came up short or had kids or, got addicted to drugs and vices and just didn't make it. And I would encounter a lot of those didn't make it. And I encountered a bunch of different talent in Chicago that I felt like, man, not just living here is hard, but man, these guys can actually play the game.
Yeah.
And it definitely sharpened me and it definitely got me ready for the league. And I felt prepared. I felt like it couldn't be nothing worse than living or going through what I have to go through every day on these streets in the go, straight up and down. Like trying to survive in the big city is a real thing.
What was the best part of your experience working with Adam Sandler on the movie Uncut Gems?
Seeing Adam's MJ-ness, his GOATness. It's times where I couldn't tell. I couldn't. It was at times where Howard was Adam, and I didn't really understand. I really didn't understand like embracing the character. And he would be in this character. He would stay there, and he would stay there. He would be Howard, and he would be talking to us and dealing with us as if he was Howard. And I had never experienced nothing like that. I had never experienced someone be great in their craft and in this craft and acting. And it would be times where in this dialogue, we had a dialogue in his office going back and forth. And he was just playing with the dialogue and he was throwing it and I was catching it, but I was like, holy snap, this is greatness. I'm in it. I am in the dialogue of greatness right here. And I understand this connection. Like I totally got acting at that point. But the dope part of seeing someone in their greatness and seeing how that you can learn and soak up so much stuff, it was one of the best and greatest experience I've ever had in life. Like to see to try to do something that you're not as good in and then learn from it. And then it felt like I grew from that. Being around Adam every day makes you better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's been
great experience.
Yeah, I've been around him a long time. Been in I think now 20 of his movies. So I know what you're talking about. Let me leave you with this, KG, because I still am baffled with what your Celtics are doing. So you have a great coach who goes into the front office who now has to hire a coach. How about you just hire a really great GM and then keep Brad Stevens as a coach? Help me understand this.
So I'm gonna take this, and this is my theory in this. I have no equity, nothing in the Celtics other than my heart, and what I've paid dues to. I'm always a C at heart. This is my theory on this though. So Brad Stevens came in and built this system and this, I guess this I don't want to say pedigree, but he built a structure there that the guys have believed in. I feel like when you do that, the investment is there. Danny has been whispering and has been hinting at, leaving it. He and Brad have a great, not just a working relationship, but have a great communication and a great transparency about them. And I think Danny feels that if he was going to step away, if it couldn't be his son, Austin, or if it couldn't be Numbers, who is like Danny's assistant GM, then it probably would be Brad. They put the investment there. The time has been there spent. They've gotten these players. They've gotten these players to believe in the ideal of the structure. Now it's about putting players and building players and bringing players and building that structure. So I'm just like you. I'm baffled. I've never known Brad to be able to be in charge of operations or any of that. He hasn't witnessed. We haven't witnessed none of that yet. So let's see. Let's find out. I mean, he's part of the family. I can see him wanting to keep things in family. But this is all Danny Ainge and him thinking that Brad can do this. And it just remains to be seen. I'm just as baffled as you, though.
Great to talk to you, KG.